What's going on, guys? This is Mr. Teej, 66's Movie Reviews. I am Mr. Teej. I just saw that little independent film known as Avengers Infinity Wars. Now, I mean, there's no doubt about it. This is one of the most anticipated movies, maybe of all time. I mean, the hype has been ridiculous. I've been hyping for it for months. But I was kind of nervous because there's so many characters in this movie. Like, were the Russo brothers going to be able to do them justice? And for the most part, oh my fucking god, yes, this movie was amazing. I had such a blast. I'm going to go ahead and get the negatives out of the way, because it isn't a perfect film, as with all movies. Little jumpy, you know, it goes from here to here to here to here to here to here. Sometimes it's hard to get your bearings, and sometimes you forget about certain characters because they've been off screen for a while, and you're like, oh yeah, I forgot about such and such. Some of the characters are shortchanged a little bit, you know, on screen time and even development. But, you know, when you have this many characters in one movie, you know, you really can't not expect that. But even then, I do think the Russos do a good job of giving each character at least, you know, one good moment, one good line, you know, whatever. Now let's get into the good stuff. The action, first of all, absolutely blew me away. I mean, you'd think with this much fighting, it would get, you know, an action, because there's a shit ton of it. Like, there's almost no pausing. I mean, there are pauses, I should say, but you'd think it would get numbing and repetitive after a while, like, say, the Transformers movies, but I'm thankful to say it really didn't. Because every character, you know, has different powers, different abilities, and, you know, it just keeps it fresh, keeps it interesting. The casting, first rate across the board. There's really nothing else I can say about the casting in this movie. Every actor is fantastic. You know, Marvel has done an absolutely spot-on job with their casting. There's not one false or bad performance in this entire film. So, and special mention has to be given, though, to Thanos, played by Josh Brolin, in what might very well be the single greatest comic book villain I've ever seen. Because, you know, I've been reading all the reviews that say he's sympathetic, and he really is. It just, his philosophy is just, you know, sick as it is, there's a part of me that believes in what he says. It's kind of like Heath Ledger's Joker, where I was kind of nodding your head going, yeah, there's some real truth to what he says. And in fact, the best scene of the movie, which I won't spoil, I forgot to mention, this is a spoiler-free review, so don't worry, I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm going to do a spoiler review, hopefully later in the week, but my favorite scene, probably of this entire film, is with Thanos and Gamora. Those who've seen the film, I think, probably will know the scene I'm talking about. It is heartbreaking. It is devastating. You know, the movie, you know, I mean, I'll get into that in the spoiler review, but for right now, I won't say anything else except to say, wow, that scene may stay with me for a very long time. The entire film is just epic, and just, you have to give it credit. It's ambitious. This is one of the most ambitious comic book films I've ever seen. They, you know, maybe they bite off more than they can chew, but they chew pretty much all of it. I mean, I was entertained. The 2.5 hours fly right by. I was never bored for 1 minute. I think I checked my watch once, and that was like, oh man, there's only, like, you know, such and such minutes left. This sucks. And the ending. Whoa. One of the most devastating endings, like, in any comic book film, maybe any movie I've ever seen. I'm not going to spoil it, of course, but the fact that Marvel is really, you know, just that they are willing to go that far and to end the movie the way they ended it. I now understand how people in 1980 probably felt when The Empire Strikes Back ended, where it's like, oh my god, like, you knew the third film was coming, but it's like, it can't come quick enough. And they had to wait 3 years. Thankfully, we only have to wait 1 year. But I absolutely cannot even begin to tell you, which was better, Black Panther or this movie? I mean, that's kind of hard to say. They're movies with different, I mean, they're in the same ballpark, but I kind of like this movie a little bit better, you know, because the Russo brothers do a great job with the small dramatic stuff, too. You know, that's something that, you know, not a lot of the reviews are saying. Well, no, the reviews are saying it, but they handle the quiet moments between the characters are just, it is a heartbreakingly devastating movie. I mean, I think they borrowed some of the tone from the Christopher Nolan Batman films. It is bleak at times. I mean, without giving anything away, you know, hopefully this isn't a spoiler, not really a spoiler, but even the Marvel logo at the beginning, you know, for Marvel Studios, usually it's that big fanfare that's like, you know, heroic and yeah. In this film, it's just quiet and, you know, remorseful. And even the credits at the end aren't the typical credits for a Marvel film. They're very somber and very serious. So yeah, this movie blew my mind in every way, shape, or form, and I've seen it twice now. I saw it yesterday, and now I'm seeing it today, which is Sunday. So that says something right there. 9 out of 10. Absolutely freaking love this movie. Can't wait to see it again. Can't wait for the finale. I don't know what else to say. I mean, as I said, there's a few nitpicky things here and there, but no movie's perfect. But yeah, absolutely blown away. Go see this movie. I mean, it's already made like at the time I'm recording this, the opening box office weekend is 250 million, making it the biggest opener of all time, just barely beating The Force Awakens, if that says anything. And I think it's absolutely justified. This movie takes chances. It doesn't end things on a very positive note. So that's my review of it. Hopefully see you on the spoiler review where I can really go into it. But anyway, this is Mr. Teej at 66, and I will see you next time.